State Treasurer Scott Meacham paints a grim revenue picture as the State Board of Equalization gets ready to certify the preliminary figures for next year's budget, as well as readjusting the revenue projections for this fiscal year. Since the board's June projection, revenues have constantly missed expectations, making it necessary to lower the estimates for the rest of the fiscal year.
That is $1 billion lower than the June projection, which was $5.4 billion. That is an 18.5% reduction in projected general revenues for the FY10-11 year.
The latest projection from the Tax Commission shows a revenue failure for the current budget of more than $729 million. That figure is how much the estimates back in June were off the mark. The state has borrowed nearly $234 million from cash reserves, which has to be repaid by June 30th, and put across-the-board cuts into place.
$278 million in cuts this year. That's the 5% cuts that we started in August, plus the 10% cuts in January and December. And then just assuming, because the agreement was just for January and December, that we stay at 5% after that.
Even with the cutbacks that have saved the state hundreds of millions of dollars, state government still faces a budget hole in the current year.
We either have to cut more and or go to other sources such as rainy day funds or stimulus of $450,742,000.
That doesn't include the shortfall in the 1017 Education Fund. That shortfall alone is projected to be around $82 million. Falling revenues also play a role in the budget for next fiscal year. It's expected lawmakers will have significantly less money to spend, more than $1.3 billion less.
That is a 20% reduction. The amount of GR reduction is actually a little bit higher as a percent. It's $1.2 billion, and it's 21.8%.
Meacham says the governor will base his executive budget on the $5.3 billion revenue projection after the Board of Equalization certifies this preliminary estimate. The Oklahoma Promise Program, which funds scholarships, and the Roads Program won't miss out on any money next year because state law funds those two functions of government first. Then lawmakers divvy up the rest. From the state capitol, Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.